This video is to be used for educational purposes only and is not intended to replace individual research or licensed investment advice. Unique experiences and past performance does not guarantee future results. Trading stocks, options, and spot currencies involves substantial risk, and there's always the potential for loss. Your trading results may vary. No representations are being made that any software or training will guarantee profits or not result in losses from trading. This is the Premier Trade Market Wrap.
This is the Market Wrap on a Thursday. I'm Jack Lott on the James Dix Financial Network. Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke warning that higher inflation and weaker economic growth could be in store, told Congress that the central bank is keeping a close eye on the subprime mortgage crisis and recent spike in oil prices. But Bernanke also downplayed fears of a recession, saying that the Fed expected the economy to grow next year, albeit a bit more moderate pace than in recent quarters. Labor Department reports that 317,000 applicants filed for jobless claims last week. That's down 13,000 from the previous week. It was the lowest level since October 9th. The larger-than-expected improvement came even through benefit applications, were boosted by almost 3,000 in California as a result of the wildfires that struck that state. European Central Bank left key interest rates unchanged at 4% today, even as member nations are beset by rising inflation, a stronger euro, and calls to follow interest rate cuts in the U.S. The ECB's move followed the Bank of England's announcement that it was keeping its benchmark rate steady at 5.75%, decisions that came at a time of mixed signals from both sides of the Atlantic. Warmer weather, combined with ongoing housing market problems and higher gas prices, eroded retail sales for a second consecutive month in October, a trend that raises questions about the strength of this year's holiday shopping season. Overall, October same-store sales rose 1.6%, which was weaker than its initial forecast of a 2% rise. Vonage Holdings said it is in talks with AT&T to settle a patent suit, the last of several filed against it by traditional phone companies. Vonage said it and AT&T are discussing settling the suit for $39 million. Apple, meantime, continues to make news and generate interest around the world. The company's popular iPhone will go on sale in Germany and in Britain on Friday, making its European debut 4 months after its launch in the United States. In Forex news today, the dollar was lower early on Thursday after Fed Chairman Bernanke's testimony to Congress highlighted risk to both economic growth as well as price stability. The dollar has remained under severe pressure against most major currencies on expectations that the stumbling U.S. housing market and related credit market problems will hurt economic growth, leading the Fed to cut interest rates further. A currency loses value against its rivals when interest rates fall. U.S. dollar touched the weakest since 1981 versus the pound and the cheapest since 1995 against the Swiss franc, as slowing growth dimmed the allure of U.S. assets. The dollar's decline started after the European Central Bank and the Bank of England kept borrowing costs unchanged today. The dollar also fell this week to an all-time low against the synthetic euro, a theoretical value for where the currency would have traded before its inception. The prior record was 1.4557, set back in 1992. French President Nicolas Sarkozy told the U.S. Congress that the Bush administration must stem the dollar's plunge or risk a trade war. The rising competitiveness of U.S. exports helped shrink the nation's trade deficit to $57.6 billion in August. That's the smallest since January. And the yield advantage of 2-year German bonds over comparable maturity treasuries widened, the most since April of 2004. A widening spread boosts the appeal of European debt relative to that of the U.S. Europe's single currency. Will trade at $1.44 versus the dollar by the end of the year. Scheduled economic reports coming out on Friday include the September trade gap, October import prices, and November consumer sentiment. Earnings news today, Ford trimmed losses in the third quarter to post near break-even operating results despite a sharp drop in U.S. sales in the period. Ford lost only $24 million or a penny a share. Toll Brothers said home building revenue fell 36% in the fourth quarter as the excess supply of homes for sale continues to hamper recovery in the U.S. housing market. And Cablevision Systems Corporation reports wider net losses for the third quarter, but operating income rose 59% as more cable TV customers signed up for high-speed internet as well as digital phone services. Scheduled earnings coming out on Friday includes Six Flags, Lionsgate Entertainment, Dominion Homes, IMAX, Liberty Media, and Shoe Pavilion. Some of the stocks in the news today. American Express has agreed to drop Visa from a lawsuit alleging Visa and MasterCard blocked the company from the U.S. bank-issued card business. Rio Tinto plc was approached about a takeover deal by Australia-based miner BHP Billiton, but rejected that bid. And Cisco Systems reported a 37% jump in the first quarter profit. For the quarter ended October 27th, the company posted net income of $2.2 billion, or 35 cents a share. And that is the market wrap. On this Thursday, I'm Jack Lott on the James Dix Financial Network.